Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Talks with the ARC Trust webinar series. My name is Sarah Geis, and I'm the Senior Director of Engagement for the ARC Master Trust, a program of the ARC of Indiana. I want to thank you all for watching our webinar series. As a reminder, all of our webinars are recorded and available on our website to view or share at any time. To see another webinar in our series, you can visit thearctrust.org and click on the webinars and videos button in the banner. In today's webinar, we will be talking about in-kind support and maintenance. This is typically abbreviated as ISM or pronounced as ISM. To understand in-kind support and maintenance, we first have to take a look at Supplemental Security Income, or SSI benefits. SSI is for individuals who have not paid enough into Social Security to draw Social Security benefits based on their own work history. The purpose of SSI is to provide individuals with income to help meet their basic needs. Social Security defines these basic needs as their shelter expenses, which can include rent or a mortgage payment, basic utilities like water, gas, electric, heat, trash, sewage, property taxes, and renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance when it is required by the mortgage. Eligibility for supplemental security income is based on an individual's income and assets, and this is sometimes known as a means-tested benefit. In 2026, the maximum monthly SSI payment is $994 per month. Because SSI is a means-tested benefits, there are stipulations that are tied to how much an individual receives from SSI each month. One way we've talked about in previous webinars is when an individual is working and receiving income other than SSI. That additional income can cause a reduction in what someone receives from SSI each month. Another way SSI could potentially be reduced is when the individual receiving SSI receives support in paying for their shelter expenses. When someone who is receiving SSI receives shelter support from another source, this could cause a reduction of what the individual receives from SSI. And this is what's known as in-kind support and maintenance reduction, or an ISM reduction. The ISM reduction can be 1/3 of an individual's SSI payment plus $20. So this could be in 2026, $351.33. So again, I mentioned this, but we do want to emphasize on what counts as a shelter expense. This is a rent or mortgage payment, home insurance or renter's insurance if required, property taxes, gas, electric, water, sewer, and trash expenses. I also want to emphasize that this reduction also used to include food, but it no longer does. As of October of 2024, Social Security eliminated food from being considered as an in-kind support and maintenance reduction. This means that an individual can receive support in paying for grocery or food costs without seeing a reduction of their SSI benefit. Now let's jump into some examples on when ISM could be applied. These examples come from the Social Security Administration website. In this example, you are an individual who is living alone and receives SSI. Your sibling pays for your rent, and your rent is $800 a month. So if you are receiving the max SSI of $994, because your sibling is paying for your rent, this is an ISM reduction. You're receiving support and paying for shelter expenses. You would see that 1/3 reduction of SSI plus $20, which means now that your SSI monthly benefit could be $642.67. In this example, suppose that you live with three other adults in a dwelling. So there are four people that are living in the unit total. Your only income is your SSI benefit. The total rent and monthly utility expenses are $1,600. Because there are four people living in the household, your share of expenses is $400 per month. If you pay your full share of this expense, there would not be a reduction in your SSI benefit and you would get the full SSI amount. If you are paying less than the $400, then you would be receiving some kind of in-kind support and maintenance. And Social Security could apply that 1/3 reduction rule. There are ways to avoid an ISM reduction. If you are an individual who wants to be able to support someone receiving SSI, there are options available. One option is to pay for expenses that are not going to trigger an ISM reduction. This can include expenses like a car payment, car insurance, phone, cable, internet, or other monthly bills. The list on the previous slide are the only things that will trigger an ISM reduction. So if there are other expenses that you can pay for, this could be something to consider. Another option that some families choose is to create a rental agreement when an individual is living in the home. Providing housing at no cost to an individual who receives SSI will reduce the individual's monthly benefit amount by 1/3. So to avoid this, families might create a rental agreement. The rental agreement sets forth the household expenses included as a part of the rent payments. The Social Security Administration will require proof that the rent is based on fair market value and verification that the rent has been paid by the individual. Another option is to put funds into an ABLE account. ABLE accounts are ways for individuals to provide funds for a loved one in a way that will not impact their eligibility for benefits. And the funds in the ABLE account can pay for shelter expenses without triggering an ISM reduction. Thank you all again for watching, and we hope that you found this informative. If you have questions or would like to learn more, please visit us at our website, either give us an email or give us a call. You can also join us on social media to learn more.